All right, hello and welcome. Today we are talking about why paid ads suck for your martial arts gym, but only sometimes, right? And it really comes down to this one big concept that we need to understand really drives the results of all of our lead generation, right? Organic or paid. And that is our leads intent. So there are two types of lead intent out there. There is paid intent and there is organic intent. So starting with organic intent, these are people that are actively searching for your gym or for your martial art. They're interested in training and they're most likely ready to start. They're just looking for a place to do that. Now, when we compare this with paid intent, you see that paid intent is people that have probably never heard of your academy. They've probably never heard of your martial art. And they probably never had any real interest in training prior to seeing your paid advertisement. And that's the biggest distinction between paid ads and organic traffic and lead gen is because of this type of intent. We are paying to get in front of as much people as possible that whatever ad platform we are using thinks would like our offer. But that's why it could feel like our ads suck sometimes or they generate us crappy leads because these types of people that we are paying to get in front of by nature is lower quality than an organic type of lead or organic traffic, right? Going back to organic intent, right? Think about this. I'm searching on Google Brazilian Jiu Jitsu schools near me. That phrase alone shows high intent, right? High intent is in I have intent to sign up. I'm looking to be a part of a gym. I'm looking to get started to train. I'm interested, right? Whereas paid intent, maybe I like to go lift weights, but I've never heard of Muay Thai before. Maybe I've seen some UFC fights and I think it's the same as kickboxing, right? But I never had any real interest in training. And now I see an ad come across my Instagram feed as I'm scrolling for a class trial at your gym. So I had never even thought about training Muay Thai before. I had a very faint idea of what it was. And now I see a free trial, and all I got to do is just tap a few buttons on my phone because it makes it easy for us, right? And now all of a sudden I'm a lead. But I didn't really have any real intent. I just saw something for free or I saw your offer, thought it sounded good to me, and I didn't really think twice about it. So I'm still a valuable lead, right? We are still generating leads for your business, but my intent is way lower. And it's going to take a lot more nurturing for me to become a book trial, for me to become a showed appointment, for me to become a student than it would be for somebody who was organically searching for you, found your website, and then filled out your lead intake form on the website. So paid ads don't suck, right? Just sometimes they get us crappy results. So, how do we get better results using paid ads? Because I am a firm believer in paid ads. I think they can be very effective in growing a gym, but we need to know how to do it properly. How do we get the best kind of results for our paid ads? And there's two main ways we're going to do that. The first is going to be with better offers, and the second is going to be with better qualification. So, what do I mean by a better offer? Going back to our example with the Muay Thai, right? If I'm out there advertising free class trial or free 2 week trial or whatever it is, people just see free and then they're drawn to it. And now this is good and bad because it gives people that are possibly actually interested in trying a class the opportunity to try it with no cost to them. But it also attracts a lot of low quality prospects that are just looking to take advantage of something that is free to them. So, how do we make a better offer? What I like to do is I like to include the price of my offer in the ad, not only just in the copy of the ad, but visually on the creative as well. And this doesn't have to be anything too crazy, right? I could just be saying, start training today, you get 6 weeks for 189 and your first class is free. right? So I'm still offering them a free class to come and try out my martial art, but now I'm also offering them a financial benefit, right? I'm also putting that out there to them and saying, hey, it's 189 for 6 weeks, which is a pretty good deal. But now just having that price out there alone is already going to disqualify people that can't afford that or they don't want to spend that kind of money. So right then and there, we are qualifying people just through our offer. So now I know that any lead I get from that ad that has seen that ad is interested in a free trial class, but is also aware of our pricing, aware how much it's going to cost. So that is already somebody with higher intent than previously, right? Because now they are aware at least of how much it can cost. They're aware that they can afford it and they're okay with it. Now they want to come down and try a class and see if they like it. The second way to get better paid results is with better qualification. So we just qualified them through our offer, right? But this type of qualification I'm referring to in how we actually collect their information. If you're running ads through Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, Meta provides what's called an instant form. So it's their version of a lead intake form. You can do a few things with it, make it more personalized, etc. But really, it's what we are going to use to capture our leads information. And because everything is saved in cloud data and whatnot, and autofill has been a thing for years, when people click on that form, they find that their information is already filled out on the form. So all they have to do is just tap the submit button and boom, they're a lead. Now, sometimes we get accidental submissions because of this, but also really what's happening is these people aren't super engaged in the qualification process, in the lead intake process, right? They don't really have to think too much about it. It's just tap this button and then submit. So what I like to do is try to delay that process and make it a little bit harder and require more effort for leads to become a lead or for prospects to become a lead. So what I mean by that is before they get to the information intake section, I like to ask them a few questions first. Do you have any prior experience? What are your goals for starting to train? Or what are your goals or expectations for our academy? Simple questions, but I require short answers for them. And the reason I require short answers is because these can't be auto-filled. We're not asking for multiple choice where they can just tap one or two by accident or on purpose, whatever. But the fact that I'm asking them to write me something means I'm asking them to engage with me. And people that only have real intent on showing up for your gym, on trying a class, on signing up, are going to fill out those questions. If I don't really have intent and I just see your ad and it looks interesting and I click on it and now I have to fill something out, actually sit there, think and type out something, I'm probably not going to do that. So we're qualifying these prospects on our lead intake form, on our Meta instant forms by asking them questions that require short answers. What I'm then also doing is, and this is one of my little tricks, is when you are creating your Meta form, if you look in the settings of the form, it has an option for more volume or higher intent. Higher intent requires prospects to review the information they are submitting. And then instead of just tapping to submit, they have to slide to submit. And it sounds so stupid almost because it's so minuscule and doesn't sound like it's much, but it really does separate low quality leads from better quality leads. Now, you're still not going to get amazing, perfect leads every time with paid results. Again, it's just kind of the nature of the game, but you are increasing your quality. You are further qualifying prospects. You aren't allowing any low quality prospects or trying to minimize that from getting in your sales process. So I hope this video taught you something. I hope you can go and apply this to your ads for your martial arts gym, and I hope they generate you some better leads and more students. So if you got help from this video, please give me a like and subscribe below, and I'll see you in the next video.